Hey guys, what is up and welcome to a new Tesla update video. So today, as per usual, let's go over Tesla stock, let's go over the market, and let's talk about what is happening today and what we can expect moving forward. So with all that being said and done, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button. It does help a lot. I would appreciate it. This is not financial advice and I am not a financial advisor. And of course, my membership section is live on YouTube. The link is down below in the description of the video. For $2.99 a month, you get access to all my intraday thoughts, post updates, etc. on Tesla, and sometimes it's the broader market as a whole every single day. And for $4.99, you get all that, plus also NVIDIA updates daily as well. So, I'd love to have you there. Link is below if you're interested. But jumping into a Tesla closing the day, down ever so slightly, down about 0.75%, closing the day at pretty much $221, just above it, which compared to the market is, maybe roughly in line with the market, right? Nothing too crazy out of the ordinary really for Tesla today. So let's talk about this. What is this? Is this finally a top signal? Is Tesla finally going to cool off, or is it just going to go higher, or maybe we just go sideways, right? What's the plan here? What's the dealio, right? Let's talk about that. So this morning, obviously, we had a nice little morning gap up. Had a nice little pump close to my 230 target, right? We talked about the 225 area, right? I said yesterday how I pretty much expected to get hit like pretty damn soon because it was a strong close. Pretty much hit it right out open. Came pretty close to even 230. That was pretty surprising. But then we just got smashed back down pretty aggressively, actually. Like very aggressive selling pressure that came in over here on Tesla, which the market also sold off. You can see here, but it didn't feel as aggressive. But you can see the market definitely sold off here as well. So it wasn't like just Tesla, but nonetheless, pretty aggressive selling pressure. And the thing that's concerning is this, right? There are some signs that are a little concerning for Tesla here that I will go over first. Now, the fact that we came down, we came right to the gap fill, right? The gap fill was pretty much from this morning's gap up just shy of 223, right? The issue is the fact that we came down pretty quickly. So whenever you gap up and you come down to the gap fill this quickly, first of all, that just shows a little bit of bullish weakness, right? Ideally, bulls, what they want to do, which is pretty much why the market's been ripping, is, well, whenever they gap up, they just continue going. They just don't even look back at the gap. I'm on the weekly by accident. You can see how many gaps the market left, right? Every time it gapped up, it just kept going. It just kept going. It just kept going. It didn't even come back to gap fill. It just kept going. That is bullish strength, right? It just didn't look back. Kind of like one of those, the cool guys or whatever, don't look at, fire explosions when they're walking away from it. Same idea here. It just gaps up and it just keeps going, right? That shows strength, right? Unfortunately, Tesla today with the gap up couldn't really do that. It pretty much just came right back into the gap. And the thing that makes it even more concerning, I guess, is the fact that it went below the gap and it closed below the gap. Those are not good signs, right? Those are definitely signs of bullish momentum slowing down, right? Absolutely, no question about it. So that's the way I look at it. So that's number one, right? Which you can pretty much see on the daily chart. There is a specific candle pattern for this. I completely forgot what it's called. Maybe someone in the comments can remind, honestly, me and the viewers. Like I said, I always forget candle pattern names, but I just know what they look like. I just remember what they look like, right? And in this case, this is a bearish candle pattern. It needs follow through as per usual. But usually when you have this kind of, massive bullish leg up like this, for instance, and then you have a bearish candle like this, and it actually closes kind of like in the midpoint-ish like this, sort of from the previous bullish candle, also below the gap, that's a potential bearish reversal candle, right? Setup, if you will, on the daily. Obviously, these never mean anything by themselves. What you need from these is, of course, a continuation. So tomorrow would need to be a red day, for instance, right? For instance, breaking below today's low could be one of those things that, can trigger a potential sell-off, which also goes pretty well with this kind of situation we have setting up right over here, which on the 15-minute chart, you can see I have a pretty much a 15-minute head and shoulders, bearish head and shoulders pattern being set up. So essentially the way you'd want to would want for this to play out would be, if you're a bear, of course, you would want Tesla to pretty much lose about 219 ish, right? About 219. Losing that would make things a little bit more worrisome and can potentially start a slow correction to the downside for Tesla, which I'll talk about the levels to the downside, essentially the support levels very soon. But that's kind of what you want to be looking for if you're a bear, or if you're just looking for some, maybe an entry moving forward or something like that, right? If you really want to see it start losing 219, that would be not ideal. And I think that's where this correction can potentially start, beginning on Tesla. So that's what the bears and bulls are looking to enter or maybe add or whatever would want to be looking at, in my opinion. The 1 hour chart, of course, we did have a flip this morning on the stochastic once again. And you can see the stochastic on the 1 hour chart pretty much, as we were slowly bleeding throughout the day, has already went to the other side, actually. So that's a good sign, in my opinion, at least for the bulls. The fact that the stochastic on the 1 hour is already all the way down here. Like I said many times though, right? Corrections don't always have to be a move to the downside. It can, but you can also have pretty much this kind of sideways movement. I mean, you can argue the fact that we did have a massive gap up and we pretty much, if someone bought the top here, you're already down like 3.5%, right? So I guess you could argue that's technically the correction almost, but as we're just kind of bleeding out throughout the day, you can see as we're bleeding out, going sideways, the stochastic on the 1 hour, it just kept descending, which is good, right? It's getting to, slightly oversold territory. It's not there just yet, but it's definitely a lot closer than it was at the morning, right? So that's a good sign in my opinion, right? That's a good sign. So, even if we do come down even lower, honestly, there's a chance that Tesla doesn't go too much lower than like 215, 214, which I'll talk about very soon as a support level if this head and shoulders pattern plays out. So that's kind of what I'll be looking at personally, right? Those are the main things I'll be eyeballing myself as of right now. But all in all, the 1 hour still showing a little bit of weakness nonetheless. MACD is bearish. Stochastic is now weakening a little bit. Or sorry, RSI is weakening a bit. Stochastic is still bearish, but it is starting to finally enter oversold territories as opposed to being overbought like it was not too long ago, literally this morning actually, or yesterday's close. The BX trender on the 1 hour, you can see it is trending downwards. So the momentum is definitely slowing down for the bulls here, and the bears are picking up momentum, right? Whichever one is more true. But like I said, all in all, it doesn't matter that much because at the end of the day, you can also just either go sideways or maybe just a small little bleed off to the downside, and that could be enough. So we'll see how it plays out. Now let's talk about the downside. Let's say Tesla does break 219. Where can I see it go next? Well, at the very least, I would expect something like this. I'd expect to move, break down below 219, probably stop somewhere around this 217.5, come back up, retest, and then make our way back down somewhere around this 214, 215 level. That'll be my main thing I'll be looking at personally. Why? Because, well, there's two reasons. Number one, I mean, it's a pretty decent support area. You can see 214, right? 215. You can see massive area of resistance here not too long ago, right? And then we broke above it, and then, some nice area of support. So that's the first level I'll be looking at. The level below that I will be looking at is going to be closer to about 206, 208, somewhere around this general range all the way down here. Those are the levels. Now, the reason I look at 214 pretty, I don't know, vividly, is that the right word I want to use here? But like the fact that it can hold it is two reasons. One, well, we have, a nice little support for 214, 215 all the way over here, and even a little bit over here, but mainly all the way over here on the left side, you can see right here, right? Nice area of support. Also here, nice area of support and resistance. And again, coming back down into it could be another nice little area of support and resistance, but the threat that becomes active for Tesla is the fact that if let's say we do come down here, and let's say we just go sideways for a little bit like this, right? Let's just say this happens. Well, now we are setting up a potentially larger inverted, or rather bearish head and shoulders pattern. So that could be a threat, but we'll talk about that if and when it actually gets there. No reason to speculate too far out for now. But again, if we do go below 219, 214 will be the next level. Below that, about 208 to 205, we'll just say roughly somewhere around that general range will be the next level. And I don't expect it to go much lower than that, at least as of right now. The second reason why I see 214 is because, well, this small inverted head and shoulders pattern, it's a small one, right? It's not a very large inverted head and shoulders. If we do break down below, it pretty much takes us almost exactly to that 214-ish range, which is a good sign as well. So again, losing 219-ish, 214, 215 is most likely next. And at the moment, at least, I do expect that to hold. Also because I think a lot of people are honestly very eagerly waiting a dip. A lot of people maybe sold too early, maybe they just missed this rally entirely. I think a lot of people are looking to re-enter the stock market, re-enter positions on Tesla, and I guess the market in general overall, to just, I guess, ride it up, right? I mean, there's a lot of FOMO potential, and a lot of people that are just not buying this rally just yet. So a lot of people are trying to wait for this dip. A lot of people want this market to fall substantially to get back in or to buy more, whatever the case may be. So the most annoying thing the market can possibly do right now is if it does dip, it's a very small dip, not a large dip at all. As it begins dipping, everyone that's waiting for the dip will be like, oh, sweet, the correction has begun. I'll wait till it goes lower and I'll buy lower. It never goes lower and the market just rips even higher. That will be the most annoying thing I can think of for the market to do. We'll see. We have FOMC minutes tomorrow. We have Jackson Hole on Friday. Could bring some volatility. Could potentially cause some, interesting situations. But as of right now, I see no reason to be that bearish on the market. Now, granted, the market is setting up potential daily reverse candles here, right? Bearish candles. We have doji candles being set up, but they're not super reliable reversal indicators, and they also need follow through. So we'll see if we get that or not, right? We'll need follow through on these candles for sure. For instance, again, similar to Tesla, losing the low of today tomorrow, for instance, on SPY, QQQ, Tesla. Those will be the signs that can definitely bring more bearish momentum back into this market. But otherwise, the market's still strong. Tesla on the daily, in my opinion, is still strong. BX trend is still looking pretty damn bullish. RSI is still looking solid, above 50. MACD on the daily is looking great, like no complaints at all. If anything, it looks bullish, nice bullish crossover, right? So Tesla doesn't look weak, and if it does fall, we'll see what happens. Like I gave you those levels, but as of right now, the daily does not look weak. It doesn't look weak, and at the moment, I'd be surprised if we see I'd be surprised if we see lower than 208 to 207 personally, but I'd be even a little surprised if we even breach below 214 quickly at least. So I don't know. That's just the way I look at it, right? 1 hour definitely cooled off a bit, could cool off a little bit more, could see a little bit lower, but I'd be surprised if we see that much lower that fast, because I think there's too many people waiting for the dip. And also the daily on Tesla just looks pretty damn strong right now. So we'll see how it plays out, but that's kind of what I got for you right now, ladies and gentlemen. As I go ahead and delete these little drawings, I will also go to the options chain here really quickly, right? Options chain on Tesla. Tesla is really nowhere to be found. I guess a little bit bearish flow here, but 10 million is nothing too crazy, nothing to really write home about. Some dark pool prints came in once again as I was recording the video. Nothing crazy though. At 221.1, Tesla closed at, pretty much exactly where it closed for about 100 million, we'll say. So I guess there's that, but take it as you will, of course, with these dark pools, right? We saw that massive 750 million one on Friday, which so far has been acting as a support in theory. Most likely was a buy, at least seems like it. But yeah, that's kind of the main thing I'm looking at and seeing right now for Tesla. So, let me know what you think down below, ladies and gentlemen. We are flirting with another breakout on the weekly chart here. So I don't know. I think Tesla still looks pretty solid. Again, if we get a pullback at the moment, I'd expect 214, 215 to hold. If it doesn't, well, levels to look out below that. But yeah. That's kind of what I'm expecting right now. That's kind of what I am seeing right now. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.